Hey everybody, it's Eugene Lisho and welcome to episode 38 of Forensics Talks. We're going to get right into it today, so no announcements or anything like that. Now, today we are going to be doing, or I'll be broadcasting a pre-recorded interview, and there's a reason for that, and that just has to do with the distance and the internet connection, but I think we made it, and it's looking pretty good. So let's jump into it here. And today my guest is going to be Yahaya Sumara Sulley, and he's a forensic educator and a senior research assistant in the Forensic Science Department of the University for Development Studies, or UDS, in Tamale-Ghana. And he has a first degree in biotechnology and molecular biology at UDS, and he's a member of GGH Scientific, which is a scientific organization that promotes education in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, basically the STEM fields. He's currently the Deputy Secretary for the Forensic Science Society of Ghana, and he's the founder of Forensic Science Outreach Ghana. Now, in the recent Canadian Society of Forensic Science conference, Yahaya was able to make a recorded presentation, and I was able to catch it, but unfortunately we missed his live Q&A. So yeah, this was the opportunity here to interview him and ask him some live questions. Now, his paper, or the subject of the talk today, is something that he had published called "The State of Forensic Support to Criminal Investigations in Ghana." And in this paper, he reports that forensic science has gone dark in Ghana, and that many citizens aren't aware of the hope or the opportunities that forensic science brings to solving crimes and really elevating the social economic status of a society, or of Ghana in particular. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to play this, and then I'll come back at the end. Now, if we're fortunate, I did speak with Yahaya earlier, and he's going to try and pop in and out of the talk here. So if you do have questions, you can go ahead and just put in some comments into the chat window inside of YouTube, and we're going to do our best to have him respond where possible. I know he can't make the entire thing, but he is going to do his best to answer some of that. So on that note, let's get going, and I'll come back with just some closing remarks afterwards. Thanks. Yahaya, thank you so much for being here today, and thank you so much for taking your evening to speak to us.
Thank you to Eugene.
Well, unfortunately, I missed you at the Canadian Society of Forensic Science conference. We tried to get you there, but I saw your pre-recorded presentation, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to interview you and speak to you, because it was I have to say, it was a very sincere and honest and open presentation about the sort of the state of forensics in Ghana. And I think it's a pretty rare opportunity for many people, because you're very much at the beginning, I think, of something, of a very long journey, let's say. Yeah, for sure. So I want to ask you about yourself first, and maybe tell us a little bit about yourself. Your interest, like where did your interest in forensics come from, and maybe some of your studies, and why are you becoming like an advocate for forensics in Ghana?
Yeah. First of all, I'm Yahaya Sumara Sulley from Ghana. I was born and bred in the Greater Accra region, specifically Ashaiman, and I did my preschool all in Ashaiman until senior high school. I went to the Bronga-Afo region to do my SHS, and then the university, I came to the northern region of Ghana. Back at SHS, I think I identified myself to be a lover of rule and justice, and I think growing up, I tend to be an advocate for justice. And looking at my background in science, as taking a purely scientific program in the university, which is biotechnology, I decided to gear towards an aspect of science that really deals with justice delivery. So after first year in the university, I realized that there is actually a way to juxtapose my personality or my dreams into something that I want to do in the future. So I realized forensic science was the future. So I started asking questions, searching online, looking for lecturers who had interest in forensic science. So I realized my current supervisor was the one taking our final years through a forensic science course. I started contacting her. I made contacts with some other pace setters in the field of forensic science in Ghana. uh, Dr. Aaron Amankwa. He's a PhD holder in forensic science, but then he's currently not in Ghana. He's a lecturer in the UK, Northumbria University. So I contacted him because I read his article on the history of forensic science. Because as at that time, searching for scholarly literature on forensic science in Ghana was even difficult. So I realized that this was the case. I tried communicating with him and he gave me positive feedbacks. So with that and then with that of my current supervisor, who is Dr. Lydia Kwanzaa, I think I had the inspiration that there is hope, and then in the future I could do something great in this field that I'm trying to develop passion for. So the passion grew up at my final year. I took a project work in forensic science, which has brought me here today. So I decided to assess the state of forensic support to criminal investigations in Ghana. First of all, I did primary background checkups, and then I did some surveys, and I realized that before we do anything, we need to get this information first. So I started it that way, and then at the end of the day, I came out with an interesting thesis. And then I think on the day of my presentation, all the members of the panel were excited, and then they were happy. They encouraged me to carry on with that passion, and then I will do great. And here I am.
That sums it up pretty well. Yeah, yeah. Well, can I ask you about Ghana? If I can ask you just about Ghana in general, for many viewers, obviously it's a country in West Africa, but what is the current state of, for example, the different types of crimes that are performed in Ghana, maybe versus other places, the population density in some cities, things like this. Like what are some of the crimes? And then I'd like to ask you after that is talk about how the justice system generally works. But maybe let's start with the types of crimes that are typical in Ghana.
Yeah, Ghana is a country. Currently, the recent statistics shows that we are about 30 million, and then uh, the population density with regards to specific cities in the country, I think over the years it has increased, and this has been as a result of business and commerciality. And then because people are interested in business, some people come in from neighboring countries and they come to engage in businesses. Some of them remain, and then people living in the country from rural areas engage in rural urban migration. They go into the cities and then they remain there. So it has ended up increasing the population density of the cities, major cities such as Accra and Kumasi. And even Tamale is now becoming one of the populated cities in the country. So specifically, Greater Accra is very populated, and then there is a the diversity is there because people coming from different regions of the country tend to head towards the Greater Accra region based on the business opportunities over there. So this as a result has influenced a whole lot of things. Some people have gained revenue as a result. Some people have encountered much problems, such as the increased population has influenced the rate of crimes in the capital city of Ghana. Yeah, it has increased the state of crimes, and crimes that are committed in Ghana include most recently cybercrime is the worst of all, and then murders are being committed. However, it is at a slow pace. Murders are at a slow pace as compared to other countries. But then the most prominent among the crimes are cybercrime, food crimes.
I wanted to ask you about that because I remember you mentioning that in your presentation. What kinds of examples? Like what kind of food crimes are there?
Yeah, food crime, especially food adulteration, mislabeling, and then substitution, where people tend to adulterate food with similar, but then similar substances. Some of them are not even. Some of them are not good for the system. You take in these foods and then it ends up giving you adversities based on the toxicology of the whole process. Yeah, so it gives you toxicological effects. So food such as milk, honey, and then groundnut paste, all of them are being adulterated with cheap and less priced commodities, which have adverse toxicological effects on the individuals who take them. So food crimes and then cyber crimes are, I mean, topmost. And then we have the burglary, we have the corruption, white collar crimes. Yeah, we have,
Are gangs?
I mean, kidnapping,
Yeah, I was gonna.
drugs. Yeah,
Yeah, gangs. Okay.
the trade, the production, and then the use of illicit drugs, drug counterfeiting. These are the major crimes in the society. Murders are there, however, it is not that you can't compare the rate of murders in Ghana to that of countries, let me say, in the global north.
Okay.
Yeah, some countries like Colombia and no. But then for cyber crime, food crimes, we have the uh, cyber crime, food crimes, burglary, corruption, and then yeah, they
Okay.
are very very prominent in the country.
What kind of resources do the police have in terms of forensics, and where, like for example, forensics labs in Ghana right now, where, like, how many are there, where are they located, and what kind of capabilities do they have?
Yeah, Ghana. I mean, Ghana is blessed to have an ultramodern forensic science laboratory, which was refurbished in the year 2011 as a result of a flagship program with the Ghana Police and then the European Union, which earned them a 3 million funding for the refurbishment of that particular laboratory. And then that laboratory is one of its kind in the West African sub-region. So the laboratory's core units include the chemistry unit, we have the DNA, we have the photography, we have the document analysis, and then the ballistics and firearms. So this forensic science unit is the only forensic laboratory serving all the 16 regions in Ghana. And even though it is ultra modern, comparing the statistics, looking at the population and then the number of police units in the country as compared to the forensic units in the country, you realize that even if we are utilizing forensic science properly in Ghana, there will always be case backlog because cases are coming from all over the country to one to only one forensic science unit, which has us at 2019 at about only less than 50 staff. How do we handle issues with of forensic need? Yeah, so the forensic science unit, we are blessed to have a forensic science unit. However, it is only one and it is the only one serving all over 651 for police units in across the country. So I will say we have a forensic science unit which is ultra modern. However, looking at the statistics, it is not something we can boast of.
Right, right. I understand. But where? And sorry, where is it located?
It is located in the Greater Accra region, the capital city of Ghana,
Oh,
and
okay.
specifically Kaokudi on the Olusegun Obasanjo street. And
Okay.
then, yeah, it is right, it is opposite the BNI, yeah, Bureau of National Investigations.
I see. And when it comes to forensics, then what about the education of people, like the police, for example? Like when they get to a crime scene, do they understand? Like in terms of the way they collect evidence or whatever. Like, what kind of training do they get or do they have at their disposal?
Yeah, basically, the requirement for one to join the Ghana Police Service is a senior high school certificate and above. So you can have a senior high school certificate, can have a first degree, can have a diploma, you can have an HND, you can have a master's degree or PhD. However, they all undergo the same training at first until they are passed out and then they put them into their various departments. Now, this police service has almost all the time relied on traditional policing strategies, which are relying on eyewitness testimony, tip-offs, and then it is something that is recent. The introduction of forensic science is something that is recent, and in modern forensic science tech is very recent. And then I think we have crime scene investigators in the police department who go to crime scenes to collect or recover evidences and work with them. However, most of the people in the service are not given that training. I think the crime scene investigators have specific training that they undergo. Other people in the police uh, who are not crime scene investigators might be given basic ideas about how to manage crime scenes. However, as to whether they are given full forensic training, that one is something I don't really know. But then looking at most of the people in the police department who have limited knowledge about forensic science, there is high possibility that uh, the inclusion of forensic science courses in their training or during their training is not something that is at that level to give them that idea of what forensic science practices. So actually, learn they do not learn like they are learning as forensic scientists. However, they might be giving some ideas because they are working with the police department. They might have some ideas about what forensic science is. However, some of them are lacking, especially those with the traffic and then motor department. For them, specifically, when I was carrying out my project, I encountered a few of them. as at that time I didn't know where the forensic science unit was. So I was asking, I thinking that these people are from the police department and they will be aware of where the forensic science unit. I asked a few of them and they said they don't even know what forensic science is. So if if someone in the in the police department is telling you that he doesn't know what forensic science is, then um, there is high possibility that a lot of them in there are actually lacking or not having adequate information about forensic science. However, the Ghana Police Service has a crime scene investigation department that are called upon whenever crime occurs, and they go to the crime scene to recover evidence and do all of that, and then possibly they extend the activity to the lab. Yeah, that is what
Yeah.
actually is done.
And what about the general population? Do they is forensic science the what they see on CSI Miami or on the see on TV, or is it something they understand?
Yeah, the CSI effect is very real, and when you are communicating with people, they tend to give you, those who think they have an idea about what forensic science actually is, tend to give you that picture of CSI movies, what happens in CSI Miami, Blacklist, 24, and all those movies that portray forensic science.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
most of them actually think that the forensic scientist is that man. He goes to the crime scene himself, recovers the evidence, comes to the lab, works on it. Within 6 hours, he's done. He brings out a profile. The culprit is arrested. Most of the people think that is who the forensic scientist is. Actually, the CSI effect is working. But then these people also, you realize that they are getting all their ideas from either documentaries or movies. And those who rely on literature to understand what forensic science actually is are people who are interested in pursuing forensic careers in the future. And then these people are almost from the science faculties of high level education. You realize that even people who are not in the high level education, say university, they are having limited knowledge with regards to forensic science. So someone in the senior high school, you tell him about forensic science, he doesn't have an idea until you start telling him that, okay, so you watch a movie, they pick someone's fingerprint at the crime scene, they show, they do it, they do this, do that, this is the database, they project it, then they find out that this person was at the crime scene. Okay, I've watched a movie like that before, but then I don't know that this is what we call forensic science.
Oh, yeah,
So you realize that they are lacking that aspect of education at their level. Had it not been the had it not been through movies or through documentaries, most of them wouldn't have gotten. And then the issue is that when people tend to rely on movies and documentaries to have an idea of forensic science, they tend to misunderstand what forensic science actually is. Because most of them, after watching these CSI movies, and they think forensic science is a course for it's a generalist course. Like one forensic scientist is capable of engaging in all forms of forensic science investigations, just like a general doctor. But then they forget that the forensic science is a specialist course where each and everyone is a specialist in this area, and then they are called upon to come and give assistance whenever an issue of forensic need arises. So
right,
the issue of forensic science education is actually it is also growing up, just like the way the discipline itself is untapped in the country. So the issue of forensic science education is kind of in between. We are struggling to promote forensic science, and then we are trying to make it stable, because currently we have about 3 universities that are offering forensic science programs in Ghana. We have the University of Cape Coast, who is doing the degree program. We have the University of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, who is doing the postgraduate, and we have the University for Development Studies, who is doing the undergraduate course. So, I mean, when we have more institutions trying to, yeah, and I think one of the new universities in the Upper East region, which is uh, formerly UDS Navrongo campus, I heard they are also trying to mount a forensic science program. So if this is being done, when more schools are introducing forensic science programs, we will get more people to 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 pursue the program, and then it will influence the number of personnel in the country, and then it will influence policy in the future. Yeah. So forensic science education is emerging. However, there is hope.
Yeah. Can I ask you? I want to ask you about the study or the paper that you did on the state of forensic support to criminal investigations in Ghana, and what I guess I would ask, like, what was the idea or the concept before you began? Obviously, you wanted to sort of, how do you say, get a status report of what is happening in Ghana, but why was that so important?
Yeah. Over the years, a lot of crimes have been committed, and we have waited for the outcomes of these crimes. We've waited to see the actual perpetrators of these crimes. However, the system has made it in such a way that we've waited for so long. So if you look at these cases, they are the same cases that occur in other countries. They dig deeper, they utilize the necessary protocols, and they bring the people involved in these crimes to justice. However, in Ghana, it is a different situation. A lot of popular personalities and unpopular personalities have been murdered in cold blood in Ghana. Their killers have not been found. A lot of crimes have been committed, both corporate crimes, white collar crimes have been committed. The actual perpetrators of these crimes have not been found. We have issues of accidents, failures. We have fire explosions that have been linked to arsons. We've still not found the actual perpetrators of these crimes. We have issues of food adulteration. We have bushfires all over. We have cyber crimes. We've still not found the actual perpetrators of this crime. So I realized that if this is the state of crimes in Ghana, and before that, I never knew there was a forensic science unit in Ghana. So after realizing there is a forensic unit in Ghana, then I said, forensic science stands for justice. Now, if forensic science stands for justice and all these crimes are being committed and we don't find the actual perpetrators of this crime, then the state of forensic science needs to be investigated. We need to investigate to see whether what are the problems we are facing with our forensic unit, what are the issues with regards to the forensic personnel. Is it an issue of resources? Is it legislation? Is it education? Is it governance? Is it, what is the reason? What is the problem? So this is what drive. This is what generated the drive towards the project work. So I took a step further and went in to search for the forensic science unit. I went there, I had a conversation with some of them, especially one of my senior colleagues now, DSP Alexander Bedu and ASP from, I don't know whether he has now been promoted, he's ASP Emmanuel Buampon. So they guided me, they gave me information about forensic science in Ghana, they gave me information about how the laboratory operates, they gave me information about the resources they have, what they don't have. And at the end of the day, I realized that there were more problems with regards to service provision, the legislation, governance, and even education.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that these were the root causes and resources, the root causes of the problems we are having with regards to forensic science in Ghana. Because if forensic science is seen as a priority, issues of legislation, education, governance, service provision will be well tackled. Because if the normal Ghanaian doesn't earn up to 600 Ghana cedis a month, and he is supposed to pay a fee for service for forensic a fee for forensic service at 1,000 Ghana cedis, then it is improportionate, because the person will just decide to keep the issue at home and not call for forensic service because he doesn't have money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if forensic science is seen as a priority, if it is seen as a priority, then some of these issues can be solved. The issues of fee for service will be solved. Issues of legislation, where you initially wanted to ask about the justice system, they realize that Ghana, the main legislative document is the 1992 Constitution, and this Constitution is the document that that we rely on for legislature. And our pace setters in forensic science wrote a review of forensic science in Ghana. It was stated in this review that issues of legislation is part of the problems of forensic science in Ghana. And you realize that in the constitution there is this at section 5 and article 18 and 19 are informing people about evidence recovery, evidence gathering, privacy, and all of that. You realize that in that section and in that article there are clauses that are kind of not giving way for the other to operate, basically because there is an issue of privacy, where people have their privacy to their issues. They are supposed to have their privacy. So if someone is to be interrogated or to be investigated and he claims he has his privacy, then there is no need. So they stated a case where someone's I think someone's mobile phone was not given out, basically because of this issue of privacy. So you realize that the legislation is also part of the issues of
Mm.
the challenges that forensic science is facing
I
in
see.
Ghana. So it's kind of, the people appreciate it. However, there are root causes which need to be tackled to pave way for the growth and development of the discipline in the country.
Right, right. Can I ask you? I want to show you something here. I'll bring it up here, but it was I guess it was like a survey that you did with different people, and so I wanted to ask you about this particular graph that you put in your report, and maybe, well, I'll let you describe it and what it means.
Yeah, so this was a pie chart that was indicating the response of respondents after a survey was conducted to look at their awareness, the general awareness about the state of forensic support to criminal investigations in Ghana. So over here you see that the part of this chart which has an ash color
Mm-hmm.
with 16 people based on the respondent size, and 8% is telling us that these people said the forensic science is very bad. We considered it from a Likert of good, bad, and very bad. So they said forensic science is very bad in Ghana. And
Mm-hmm.
most of them were giving reasons such as they don't know about forensic science. Some of them said they don't trust the institution that is operating the forensic science unit, which is the Ghana Police Service, based on institutional trust, previous events. Some of them, their encounters with the Ghana Police Service claim the police are involved in issues with regards to mistrust and dishonesty.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if the forensic science unit is being operated by the Ghana Police Service, then what shows that they will be working based on morality and ethics. So, we went ahead and then we had about 163 out of the total population, which represented 82%, saying that forensic science, the state of forensic science in Ghana is bad. And they were giving similar reasons with regards to as compared to just like those who were giving reasons that it is very bad. So most of them said we don't have even schools that are promoting the forensic science discipline. That clearly shows how unaware people were about forensic science. Because as at the time I was conducting the survey, we had the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology and the University of Cape Coast offering forensic science programs to people. So it showed how unaware and unclear people were about forensic science in Ghana. So we went ahead to look at those, and then we finally had a few people who were saying at least it is good. So because if we have a forensic science unit in Ghana, it's good. They were just trying to speak based on hope that if at least we have a forensic science unit in Ghana, in the
Mm-hmm.
future, it will help. And most of these people were people who were enlightened. They had secular education. They were elites of the society, and
I
then
see.
they had an idea about what forensic science. So they were not looking at the negative aspects of it, but then they were looking at the brighter future. But you realize that most of the people who fall within the orange section were people who were coming from areas with population density, areas where crimes normally occur, areas, slum areas, and these people were those who are mostly affected with crimes.
Mm-hmm.
And they were also those who were saying forensic science, the state of forensic science is bad, right away from the general practice, the operation, the education, and all of that. They were trying to say that if forensic science, if the state of forensic science is good in Ghana, most of them were even saying for the state of forensic science is good in Ghana, then a lot of people who have been put behind bars, who have been incarcerated, will have to be exonerated because some of them have been put behind bars without actually knowing the crimes they have committed. Some of them were just arrested and sent to jail basically because of their appearance.
Hmm.
So there is no evidence to actually pin them down to a specific crime, but they are behind bars. So if forensic science is actually working, then the people of the street are saying that if forensic science is in Ghana, if we have a forensic science unit in Ghana and we have our people behind bars without committing any crime, then it means the state of forensic science is bad. So
Right.
that is the outcome. That is what the chart means.
So you mentioned a few things in terms of, like there's some repeated themes here that you've been discussing. For example, education was one of them. Staffing was another one. The fact that there's only one lab that's servicing a whole country, which it doesn't sound like it's practical. You can only handle so much casework through something like that. What would you say is the most what is going to give you the biggest bang for your buck? Let's say this way. What's probably the most important factor for you in seeing the changes start or really pushing forensic science ahead in Ghana?
Um, as I said earlier on, it is a matter of prioritization. If forensic science is being prioritized, and if it is going to be prioritized, then it is a matter of policy making. So if our policy makers are able to look at forensic science with that lens that we those interested in the discipline or we those in the discipline look at it with, then they will definitely have to prioritize it. And if they prioritize forensic science just as they have prioritized health and well-being, just as they have prioritized the issues of infectious diseases, just like the way we had the insurgence of COVID-19 and other issues related to health, the way all governments have been in a haste to try to prevent this. Now, if government is able to see the need for justice, peace, and strong institutions, then I think they will prioritize forensic science. And with this prioritization, it will lead to the creation of more forensic science laboratories in the country.
Okay.
It will lead to the establishment of more forensic science departments in universities. It will lead to the amendment of the legislative documents that the forensic scientists can work based on. It will lead to the restructuring of the organizational structure where the forensic science discipline falls in, where we can allow private forensic science institutions to handle caseworks, provide reports, and serve as expert witness in court, rather than relying on the one institution, which is Ghana Police Service, doing everything on their own and not allowing private institutions to handle forensic science cases, and then until or unless it has passed through the Ministry of Justice before you will be able to be accepted as a forensic practitioner through a gazetting and all this. So the issue is there is no decentralization, and this is not allowing people to operate freely. Just like our pace setters stated in their review, in countries like Scotland, the Scottish Police Service is there. However, they have other police services that also operate within the country, and they are able to work on cases. And this reduces the burden of the state police. And it also opens up to issues which require the truth and only the truth, because over here you are working with independent bodies. So you realize that even in the review, our setters stated that in terms of arrestees, in terms of arrestees, we have people who are untouchables in the country. So if people like this, there are issues that require investigations. This person is an untouchable person. How do you recover evidence from him? So when it is the state institution, Ghana Police, which is the main law enforcement agency in the country, that one also belongs to the state. And how do the honesty and sincerity and ethics play? What role does it play in investigating a private person? So if there is an independent body that is investigating the issues of this sort, will not be handled the way we used to handle them, because the transparency will be there. So untouchables of the society will now be touched, so that the truth will unveil itself.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a very good point. How does Ghana compare to the neighboring countries like Togo, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire? Like, is are they? Do you know if they are in a similar state? If they are better? If they're worse? How do you compare?
Well, it's interesting. The issue is that we have limited information with regards to issues of forensic science from these countries, and then even general issues, because they are francophone countries and we hardly hear information. Even though we are close, we hardly get their information because they communicate in French and we also communicate in English. But then if the information is telling us that the forensic science unit in Ghana is an ultramodern one, and it is one of its kind in the whole of the West African sub-region, then it means, and this is the state of Ghana, then it means in the other countries it will be very, very bad.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, yeah. You may have a point there for sure.
So over here, in our institution, our forensic science program, we introduced the French language as part of the courses to be taken by students, where the idea is that in the future, when there are issues of forensic need in our neighboring countries, because of the deplorable state of forensic science in the West African sub-region, they can rely on forensic scientists in Ghana with skills set in languages which are very familiar, which they are familiar with, and then they can call on forensic scientists from Ghana to come and help or assist in cases in these countries, because we are neighbors and we can't benefit from something without giving them a share of it. So we need to include French so that when the benefits are coming, our neighbors will also get some.
Right, right, yeah, for sure. You're a member of what's called the GH Scientific, right? So it's like an organization that promotes education in the STEM areas. Is that true? Like, what's your role there?
Yeah, I'm a member and I don't have an executive role to play there. However, GH Scientific, GH Scientific, as you said, it's a scientific society that promotes STEM education, and they help members of GH Scientific benefit in many ways. They organize workshops online because they have members across the country, and due to COVID-19 and issues of transportation, we can all converge on an online platform. They will give tips or education on one thing or the other. And also, as a member, you benefit from career guidance. You also benefit from grants and other opportunities. So recently, I'm also the founder of Forensic Science Outreach Ghana. And recently, we held our maiden symposium right here in the University for Development Studies in Ankpala campus. And I was being funded and supported by GGH Scientific. So that is also some of the things they do to promote science communication in Ghana. So they feel the need to promote forensic science so that people will be aware that forensic science is a discipline. It is an untapped area and we need to explore.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And you, what about there is the Forensic Science Society of Ghana as well. Yeah, is that you're a member of that too?
Yeah, I was a member, but now I'm an executive officer. I was a member as at the time I was about graduating from the university. So a year later, a mentor nominated me. He nominated me for the vice secretary position, and then I was appointed as the vice secretary position, and I'm playing the role as the vice secretary position. And the Forensic Science Society of Ghana also is a scientific body that promotes forensic science, awareness, education, practice. So the body or the society consists of forensic scientists, students in forensic science, people in related scientific disciplines who are interested in forensic science, and others. And then they also have engagements such as annual conferences. They also give grants to uh, people interested in forensic science projects. And we also engage in social, we also play roles in social media engagement, because nowadays that is the one of the mediums of propagating or communicating information. So we have social media platforms where we try to engage people virtually in Ghana. Yeah, and then there is the intention that the Forensic Science Society of Ghana will be the bigger body with regards to forensic science practice, and also in terms of organizations, it will be the bigger body in Ghana, and then it will help in solving most of the challenges with regards to forensic science in Ghana.
Okay.
So that is basically what Forensic Science Society.
I have one main question, really last that I want to ask you, and that is if because this came up actually during the presentation at the Canadian Society of Forensic Science, but there were people in the chat window and Q&A asking what can we do to help. So there were, is there anything, are there any partnerships, or is there anything that people from outside of Ghana can help you with? And I don't know if that's something, but I would open it up here in case somebody's listening to this interview, and if they can help, or if it raises awareness, or I don't know, international exchanges with students and education, things like this. I don't know if that's something that is possible, but I would just say, if I think there are people who are willing to assist, let's say, and yeah. But if you see any opportunities or any openings, it'd be interesting to know what those might be.
Yeah, that's a very great point, and I've been expecting this opportunity for a very long time. I've been
Okay, good.
trying to communicate this through my write-ups. I've been writing a lot of articles about forensic science, and even in my thesis, I try to make these recommendations. Looking at the deplorable state of forensic science in Ghana, if we don't get interventions to anchor forensic science practice in Ghana, um, it wouldn't be a nice scene in the future, because If you look at where forensic science have come from, starting from the fingerprinting in 1948 down through changes, relocations, and then all of that, you realize that forensic science practice is not new in Ghana, and it has changed over the years as a result of globalization and technology. Now, we are privileged to have an ultra-modern forensic science unit in Ghana. We are privileged to have some universities trying their best to educate people to become the next generation of professionals in forensic science in Ghana. However, if you look at these two institutions that I've mentioned, the forensic science unit and the education, you realize that there is an issue, one particular issue, and it is very, very similar to both: limited staffing. You go into the forensic science departments of universities, there is limited staffing. If you go to the forensic science unit, there is limited staffing. Now, if there is limited staffing, how do we get more forensic science laboratories created in other regions? You create them and you don't get people to go there and work. Now, we don't have people to teach forensic science. You establish the department. Who is going there to teach? All this is as a result of one thing: we need forensic science education. And if people are being laddered to pursue higher in the discipline of forensic science, I think they can come back to Ghana and make forensic science great. Uh, when we have collaborations to conduct more forensic science research, the forensic science unit, I don't know, but one may say it is only when there is a case that is when you find them active. So they try to say various media outlets and information across try to tell us that forensic science is underutilized in Ghana, even though we are having the facility. So we realize that people are there, we have the institutions, but we are lacking in the area of research and education. So if we have collaborations, future collaborations in forensic science research, forensic science outreach, we have forensic science education, people are giving scholarships to pursue postgraduate studies in forensic science. I think people will come back to Ghana and make forensic science practice and education great and strong. I mean, we need this to develop the area of forensic science in Ghana, because if this if we remain in this state for some time, it wouldn't it as I said earlier, it wouldn't be a nice thing to view from far. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because
That makes sense.
injustice is something that today you can clearly see it. You walk all over, injustice all over, injustice all over. Meanwhile, there are means of identifying the real perpetrators of issues that require forensic need. Now, even issues, even today, people even forget that when someone dies, there is a need for investigation into how come the person died. Basically because even if it is done, we don't get to see the results, we don't see the outcomes, we don't get proper feedbacks. So I mean, forensic science education research is it's deplorable, and we need opportunities to study more, come back and try to help achieve sustainable development. And I mean, with achieving sustainable development, we have this one key sustainable development goal, which is SDG 16. And SDG 16 is an accelerator of all sustainable development, because if you have peace, justice, and strong institutions in your country, all the sustainable development goes from no poverty to whatever, life on
Right.
land.
Yeah.
All of them will be achieved because there is peace and justice, and there are strong institutions to hold people accountable for whatever wrong they have done.
That makes that makes sense. No, that makes a ton of sense. I would say this because we're getting on in time here, but I do want to thank you very much for all your insight and everything else. I'm not going to lie, you have a big road ahead of you, my friend. A very big road ahead of you, I think. But nonetheless, I think that if you do have any ideas, anything that you need in terms of outreach or whatever, I think it was great that we had you as a speaker at the conference and having people from outside. And this is one of the benefits of the internet, and just the fact that we can communicate with people so far away, and we can get insight that we normally wouldn't have. So I thank you for that, and I thank you for your time. And like I said, if you have any ideas or anything, by all means, please reach out anytime, and hopefully, we can connect with you. And I hope that we see more of Yahaya on the conference lists and speaker lists in the future.
Hopefully, hopefully. All the way from Africa, Ghana.
Yes, for sure. Excellent. All right. Well, listen, I know it's late there. Thank you very much. Have a great evening, and we'll speak soon.
Thank you too.
All right. Bye bye. All right. Well, that does it for episode 38. I really want to thank Yahaya for being here today, and also want to thank some of the people in the chat window who have been making some great comments. Alexander, thank you. Lydia, thank you. Some good discussion about the level of evidence that's being presented today, and this may be something that in the future we may want to address at some point. Well, that does it for this episode. I want to say thanks to everyone for listening and attending. We're getting into the summer months, and so things may slow down a little bit here, take a little bit of a break, and so the talks may not be as frequent. We've been pushing really hard here, so sometimes we need a little bit of space to breathe here as well. But definitely going to be keeping this series going forward, and looking forward to some more presentations and some more talks. Again, I'm hoping that Yahaya will be available at some point to answer some of the questions inside of the chat window. So if you are still listening and you do have some thoughts, some comments, whatever it might be, please put them in there, and I'm hoping that he'll be able to go back and respond to those. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week, and I wish you all the best. Bye-bye.